Hey guys, my name is Jacob, and the topic I chose for this speech was metalworking. This includes blacksmithing and welding. Currently, I'm at MCC right now for welding to get my certifications. I'm also in a blacksmithing class right now, and welding and blacksmithing are important roles in fusing metal together and building things. So it starts back with blacksmithing. It is the earliest form of welding. It dates back to 1500 BC was when it started during the Iron Age. It's just they got metal real hot and they fused them together. The golden age for blacksmiths was before the Depression. It was booming for them back then, but then industrialization took over and the blacksmiths almost went extinct. No one really needed them anymore. So the basic rundown of blacksmithing is you have a forge and it's like an oven. You heat it up and it gets to about 3,500 degrees Fahrenheit. You put your metal in, you get it glowing hot orange, and then you take it out and shape it with a hammer. You just basically hit it a lot. And then you put it back in the forge when the metal cools down, and you repeat the process until you have what you want. It's pretty cool. And next, there's oxyacetylene welding. It uses oxygen and acetylene gas. It mixes the two, and it comes out of the tip of a torch. You can weld like that, and then you also have filler rod you can use to make the weld stronger. This style of welding started back in the early 1900s, and it remains virtually unchanged. You can also cut with oxyacetylene. That's a staple for welding. If you know how to cut, you're pretty much set. And so that leads to MIG, TIG, and stick welding, also known as shielded metal arc welding. MIG stands for metal inert gas, and TIG is tungsten inert gas. So for TIG welding, it's used on thinner material such as aluminum, nickel alloys, copper. You use tungsten, and you just weld that way, and you complete a circuit. MIG and stick are basically used for everything else, like thick material, stuff you'll see on a job site. MIG, the way MIG works is you have a welder gun, and you feed wire through the gun, and it comes out, and you also turn on carbon dioxide, and this gas, when your wire hits the metal, the gas that comes out of the gun shields your weld so that no oxygen gets in, and it prevents it from getting porous or like just air bubbles in it. And because when you get air bubbles in your weld, it's not a good weld. It'll break. And so for stick welding, the way this works is you have like a 12-inch rod. It's pretty thin, thinner than a pencil sometimes. And on this rod, there's a material called flux. And when you start your arc, when you start your weld, the flux will make a little cloud of gas, and this also prevents oxygen from getting in the weld. You don't ever want to get oxygen in your weld because it'll be a bad weld and you'll have to grind it off and restart. So for welding, you can't do it with your naked eye. It'll burn your eyes out. So you have to have a special protective mask on, and it makes it so that you're able to see what you're welding. In conclusion, welding is something that I find cool, and it's a big part in construction and building things, and it's something that I enjoy. I have a parting thought for you guys. Next time you're commuting to work or just taking a walk around your neighborhood, notice all the metal objects around you and see how many of them are welded, because welding plays a big part in building things. Thank you for listening.